Good morning, folks. Had a situation where I needed to use AppScript to update a particular sheet on a sheet I'd already distributed. So this is a system that we have developed, and each one of my students, we have some app scripts here that first of all creates a folder for each student and then pushes out a form and a document to each student folder. And that form and document are, in this case, it's a grade one. And on that grade one document, we are pushing out a set of standards. Now, what was happening was the standards we had that we were pushing out were the incorrect standards. So what we had to do once we've already pushed out all of the sheets to the students, they had the incorrect standard. So what I wanted to do was connect and push out to each one of these student sheets in this column here. This is a URL to each student sheet. I wanted to push out the correct standards once this had already been done. Now I've gone and fixed the template, so any new uh, students that are created will have the updated template, but I was stuck with a situation of needing to update all the standards on the student templates that had been pushed out already. So what we did was got our updated standards, and what I needed to do here was grab the ID of this particular sheet, and then we're using that ID here. So let's take a look at how this script works. So we get this active spreadsheet. This is that's this spreadsheet here. We get that active spreadsheet. We get the uh, source sheet ID. So this is the ID of this sheet here. And then we get the sheet by name. That's my management sheet. So that's the sheet I'm on. We get that sheet. And then what we're looking for here is we're going to loop through each row on that sheet. That's the main sheet, the management sheet. We're going to loop through that row. We're going to get the information of grade, and we're going to get the information of this URL. And what we're going to do then is if we have a grade and a student sheet URL, we're going to open that student sheet. So we're opening up the student sheet. We're looking for a sheet on that student sheet one by one as it iterates through that. Find the standard sheet and delete it because that was the incorrect standards. And then we needed to determine how to grab the correct grade level. So that's where we're using the grade, because notice my source sheet has different standards for each grade. So then this next step required to match the grade. And of course, Kinder was a little bit different, but we had to match the grade with the grade that we had for each one of these rows. So here's my grade in row 4. Here's my student URL in row 17. I think we see that right here. Right here, you can see row 4, that's getting the grade, and row 17, or column 17, excuse me, is getting the value of the URL. And we're going to loop through those. And then we are going to then copy the correct, we're going to get the correct source sheet based on the grade. So the source tab name is the grade, because notice we have these grades here. So the source tab sheet is grade plus the grade that we picked up here. So grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or in the case of this, Kinder. So we grab the correct sheet, and then we are able to create a new, we're using the copy to, we're copying that. Basically it would be like doing this manually, be like going here, copy to existing spreadsheet. We're basically using the script to do that, and then we're copying it over to the URL of the correct sheet that we have. And then I wanted the user, as they were, might be updating. In this case, I had like 39 students, so I wanted to create a counter, and somewhere back in here we created a counter so that we would be see somewhere in here, sheet updated, right here, let sheet updated equals 0, and then we increment the sheet updated as it moves through these rows. And when it's all finished, we push out an alert. The standards were updated on X number of student sheets. Anyway, real quick, this was a problem that we were going to have, and I wanted to share how we solved that problem using AppScript to push out an updated standard sheet to pre-existing student sheets.